tonight. It's a late night special with a special guest all the way from the West Coast, the one and only God Face, brother. What you saying?
What's happening, world?
How you doing, man? How you been?
Man, it feels great to be back, man. Talking to my boy. How you? I'm in spirits. I'm in excellent spirits.
Yeah, man. I see you've been doing some new music. Like you keep doing the music and an entrepreneur. You have like a business you've been promoting. I see you doing some other, people call it hustles, but this is progress. Building your empire. So, yo, what you been up to?
Oh man, thank you for not acknowledging that, man. It's been a journey. Yeah. I came together with me and my girl, man. We collaborated and we created a brand called Fresh Thyself. So it's just took her love for teaching and creativity and art and my love for knowledge and music and self-care, and we combined it into a, I like to call it a contraption soap. Dope soap. So it has like images on the soap, or you might get an affirmation on the soap. You might get your zodiac sign on the soap. You might get an album cover on the soap. And it just makes it a dualistic experience because you could wash your hands, or you could just let it sit up in the bathroom, nostalgic style, aesthetically speaking. It could just be something to just show off to friends.
Yeah.
And it's just been a great experience to see the smiles on people's faces as they see the effort and the authenticity and the originality that we put into these crafts.
Yeah, that's good to hear, man, because that's independent, like you build off of something and after then, you grow because I see that you even incorporate you're doing the music. You've been doing the music right now. How's that going right now? I know you have some new stuff you're working on.
Oh, we're gonna do that forever. I got a brand new EP that's available if you pre-save my new song that's dropping on the 27th.
All
But
right.
the EP is exclusive, it's only for those that pre-save the single. And eventually it's gonna be on a vinyl,
That's
and it'll
good.
be only 25 copies, and it'll be online. If you're a real, true, genuine Godface fan, then it's for you. But digital platforms is still to be determined, but most likely this one is just gonna probably stay for my hardcores.
You know what though? The music, like I always have a gem, when we connect, it just brings the energy out, in the brain.
Mm,
Music's gonna is getting back to that type of rarity that making a like vinyl or even cassette or like a way of like someone grabbing something, that's what people
yes,
are gonna gravitate to. So if you are like even an independent artist but people respect your craft, someone
yes,
will I will purchase that because I know that it's good quality and it's independent. It's not like something what everybody could have. But you yourself as a consumer, if you it's called promotion. You're playing that music. You like the music. People are gonna wonder what you're listening to. And then that
yeah,
person's gonna want to know how they could get it. So if it's limited in a way, but it's how you promote yourself, people will come to you directly fast because they're saying, where could I get the God face? Where is it? Right?
yeah.
And they only just say they only could get it at limited, outlets, but they really like the artwork and the music. They're gonna go for it. People are gonna go look for it.
No, for sure, you absolutely correct, man. I didn't plan on selling it initially when I did the give me your email in exchange for the song. You can hear it first.
Mhm.
And that was my first, rollout was just like, hey, if you want to hear it today, just pre-save it. I send you a link. And what ended up happening is I guess it's a function within the platform where they still able to make donations, even though that wasn't
Yep.
what I had initially intended to do. So one morning I got a email. It's like, you got a song that's been purchased, and I'm just like, oh, that's awesome. You know what I'm saying? That somebody
Mm.
actually reached into their pocket and their wallet. It felt like, hey, I want to support this guy. So yeah, you guys can go check that out, man. It's in my link in bio. You tap that joint and you hit the pre-save, you'll get the link to the EP. And if it's in your heart, if you feel like that was monumental enough, and this is what music needs to come back to, and you really want to support, then it's available. But if you can't and you just throw the email, hey, it's all love. You still part of the God family. You feel
Yeah,
me?
that's how you got to do it right now. Nowadays, it's a different way how to promote as an artist. Like, it's you gotta socialize like what we're doing right now. You have to socialize with people. People want to see you. You get what I mean? They wanna know you before
For
they even
sure.
take you serious. That's how it goes, right? Like
For sure.
this the evolution. Like people been doing like interviews before, but it kind of lost the way until it like maybe recently. Because for example, now the radio tours. You heard of radio tours? That's what they used to do a lot in like rock and roll and country. That they would
Oh
go
yeah, they
around
go.
the
Yeah,
major cities. Wasn't that a big thing for
man,
the
that was the
artists?
only way you could do it. You
Okay,
had to do it. Yeah,
I think that is in a way still going. It's still going on, but it's gonna be coming back more big now. Like, just say
yeah,
you Godface, you have a lot of listeners. Just say like Toronto. Just say, right?
yeah,
You know you have 3,000 listeners up here, so you know to come to a city like this, even though it's 3,000 people, that means at least if you could get even 300 people out from that 3,000. You see how it works? People don't look at it.
yes,
You don't have to
yes.
have a millions of whatever. But if you have
Right,
3,000 listeners in a city, at least a percentage of them, 100 to maybe 300, will come out to your show if you have a show. And that's good
man.
for independent
You
artists. Think of it.
you absolutely correct, man. I will suggest more and more of our creatives and artists and rappers and singers and people that want to entertain to just go ahead and build that community. And like you said, it might only be a few thousand, but a few thousand is enough. Like
Hmm.
you said, that's enough
People
because
don't really
out of
look at
that,
it like that. They don't really look.
yeah,
A few thousand is enough
it's
because
enough.
if you have, just say in Houston, you have 1,000 people listening to you there,
Hmm.
at least maybe 200 people are gonna come where you go at 200, even in a just a basic setting. That's good. Let me tell you,
Right, you
200
just
people
gotta
at your
make
event.
it worth their while,
Yeah.
like, hey man, I'm about to do a live band. It's gonna be exclusive one night,
Hmm.
get your tickets, it's gonna come with the free t-shirt, you get a signed copy of the a poster or something. Like,
Hmm.
you really gotta make sure that you wanna give them value, give
Because remember,
value
it's the
to the
promoter
people.
who it could be the promoter who's coming to you. Like they said, yo, a lot of people are requesting this guy Godface, and yo, I'll pay him so and so to be at this place because
That
all,
too.
and he could benefit for some reason because we don't know as even artists who's your fans. Like people never really analyze their fans. We only think of the big stars, but like the other artists, just say like Redman, you don't analyze wherever he goes. There's a big fan. He has a fan base as long old as he's been, whatever in the industry. He goes any
Right.
city. He has
Right.
thousands of people.
Right. They will come and see Redman for surely if he
Okay,
pop up.
even KRS-One, if he
Right.
comes to Toronto, he shuts
Right.
down. I'm telling you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
A lot of
Right.
people come out to them. You could go back to some old school guys and they
Man,
come
for
to
real.
like a city like this, they have a bag.
For sure. It's
Even
there.
guys
It's
who are a little bit under, they have a
oh
bag.
yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. For sure. It's a good time to be a creative, an independent creative right now. It's a great time. Because people want that connection again. They want to because remember, I don't know if you remember, we went to the store and bought the album. We opened it.
Yes.
We smelled the package. We see the
Different
thank
feeling.
you letter. It was just an experience,
Yeah.
and that's gone. So now people need those
You know
experiences.
what experience I used to love about the albums? Reading the shoutouts. You see like
Yeah,
300 people. Like you get to know the crews, you know. Like when you really read it, like some names, like I was, where these names come from? I remember, you know who I remember reading? I think it was Naughty by Nature, and I think it was Wu Tang. And when you read out the shout outs, man, damn. But it was interesting because you learn where they're from, kind of like, and how they networked, right? Because you
Right, their
see,
language,
yeah,
yeah, who
Tata
they
and
was cool with.
all type of names, man. Like,
Super cool. And the credits on the song too. The producer, the
I
singer that
like
was
that.
on the song. Like who put the keys on there, who
Mm.
wrote, even if it was like you will see like somebody named like Quincy Jones, like,
Yeah.
wait a minute, what did Quincy Jones have to do with this song? Like
And I remember a lot of the musicians, certain musicians, especially in the West Coast, was famous for that. Like there's a guy named I forgot what he done a lot with Dr. Dre. He done a lot with Dr. Dre. He done a lot of the bass and like the guitars and shit like that. Like there was always a guy, like a certain guy who was the main bassist, guitarist,
right.
keyboardist. He was using a lot of the funk guys. The guys from
Okay.
the you would say what the 70s, 80s. They're using a lot of George Clinton,
Right. They did.
right?
They did.
And when you
Yeah.
think of funk, they were getting the guys who were the musicians who was
Right.
doing the
Actually
shit
come
for,
in there. Yeah,
yeah,
literally. Yeah.
yeah. And the studios, like they just had a story like who was in the studios. Like it was, that was something. You know
And
the,
like the packaging with the pictures, you never like,
yeah,
man,
they show you the pictures. Yeah.
come
That's
on, man.
missing.
And people nowadays they don't realize, like they don't get that experience.
No,
So
it's
some
lost.
people appreciate it, and when you bring it back and you say, "Man, no, I'm dropping a vinyl, man, signed, autographed, only 25 copies." With the thank you letters in there and
Mhm.
everything. Like I really tried to make sure that you get that feeling, like, oh
But you know
man,
what? People take you serious when you see when you have vinyl and you go to, and it's at an event too, especially you know that it's some type of event you're invited to and stuff. People
right,
support that shit. So you have,
yeah.
just say, even if it was 10 vinyls you went out with, people buy that all for 40 each one, or 50.
Hmm.
Even if it's a 50, they'll give you that shit because
Man,
you have the, just say it's 5, 6, whatever songs on a vinyl with
right.
the picture, they'll buy
They
it for
might not
50.
never. They might not know. They don't even have a record player.
People, when they see a man come out with that and he's an artist and it looks professional, people will pay whatever,
For
because
sure.
if you're really a music connoisseur.
Yeah, you respect it. You respect that this artist put the money up in himself. He
Yeah,
invested to himself, so he must be serious about his
yes,
craft.
yeah,
He's a real artist. You know what I'm
yeah. When
saying?
you see a man with a record, yeah, you get that. You buying that shit.
Yes. And I'm gonna be at a record store too, doing some stuff with the record store to
Yeah,
drop the soaps. And so, like, just to bring the that type of energy back, man, I'm excited, man.
because you know what? Maybe we just drop some gems on some even other artists, younger artists, older artists. But you see, when you do have that vinyl, that makes you
Hmm.
worth more as an artist, more than all of them. Sorry, all the digital platforms respect, but when you have that physical, which, remember, they have record players now, digital record players. They made a comeback, a retro. So
Oh wow.
there's people with them. Those, I have
Okay.
one.
Yeah.
I have
Oh
one.
wow.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's
That's what's
been
up.
big for the last, what, 15 years. Like that, come after the CDs went away. That retro mobile record player. You ever see them? The electric one, the electric ones.
I like them. They look very updated. I like
That's
those. Yeah.
popular now.
And they
Records,
got the little Bluetooth on there. You can play the
yes,
CD on
yes,
there. Everything.
yeah.
Yep.
That's what's popular now for especially people probably like, I would say from 30, 35 to like up.
Yep.
Like anybody who's 35, they will probably remember the vinyl
Oh,
still and up. So,
they
but it's
finna
still
be
being
my
it's still being bought. Like, you get what I mean? What is old nowadays? You get me? You could be 50 and you still look like a singer. You know what I mean? I didn't reach that yet, but I'm just saying, like, people are listening to going back to these stores and records, they're buying them for $50 or more. Like these retro, they re-release records now. Like I've been to a record store, they
Wow.
re-release some rock albums, like all types of genre
Right.
re-released. Like
It's nostalgic, man. It's like it's value to certain people. Like I guess some people collect tennis shoes, some people collect like little toy cars.
yeah.
Like it's so many things that you would think like, man, Teletubbies and shit like that
But
on
you know
top
what?
of it.
I will collect a Michael Jackson record if they
For
have a
sure.
re-released one, a
For
re-release.
sure. For
That's what's good.
sure.
They have
No,
them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Remastered and all that. Yeah.
yeah, on vinyl. They have it.
Right.
People are
Right.
probably buying those as like like you said, collecting, but they're not cheap. Like a Michael Jackson record,
Mhm.
vinyl is probably going for at least over $100.
For surely. For
So if you
sure.
really love it, you're gonna spend over $100
Oh
for that
yeah, it's
vinyl.
gonna be mint condition too. It's gonna be, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
It's gonna
Chris.
it's gonna set the it's gonna set the bar. Yeah, it's time to
Yeah.
raise the bar up for music again. It's been watered down, saturated. It's a lot of stuff going on. People making their quick dollars and stuff, but that connection with the fan is so vital and so valuable. And the only way you can do it is with something actually tangible. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Something they
That's
can
what's
actually
coming. That's what
touch.
I see. So,
Yeah.
how's it like? Not saying I hate to bring it up, but in the West Coast, Kendrick
Mm,
kind of bring that energy to
mm,
like saying that you don't have to be gangster, but be
mm,
intelligent and
mm,
still be a man. You get what I mean?
mm.
You
Most
could be
definitely.
intelligent and still be a man. Whoever said that you had to be gangster or
Right.
show that aggression, right?
Right. I
Let's
think
up,
what he
flip
took
the.
that and he actually like turned that into the new gangster. Like
But you know what? It always been, but it's been
it,
hidden.
yeah, it's like a return.
Yeah, it's been
Yeah, he
hidden because
returned.
Malcolm X is gangster.
Big love.
You know what I mean? Bless
Most
up,
the
flip through.
biggest one, the biggest of them all for sure. That's a
Yeah,
fact. Yeah,
I
that's a
think people
fact.
forget the definite. And I was gonna do a book or so, well, shit. I shouldn't even say anything. The definition, the definition of a gangster, and there's
mm,
all types of definitions, right? And if
mm-hmm.
people really look what the definition of gangster, all it is that some person. Oh shit, Stevie Wonder.
You
Yo, you
feel
got
me?
classic.
You feel me? The
All,
homie, the big homie.
all it is, the definition of a gangster is someone who goes by their own rules, right? They go
Mm-hmm.
by their own rules. They make up their own like ways and their laws, and
Exactly.
they just work around certain maybe the system. That's
That's
why,
right.
for example, the mafia, right? That's why
Right.
they made the gangster movies. They have a society and they go by their own rules, even though they know there's the law enforcement. No, the law enforcement's part of them too. They make sure that they put everything in all the
Yeah,
systems.
they got somebody in every position, every
Yes,
seat.
so that's why they
Mhm.
don't care. They go by their own rules. Think of it.
Yeah,
If you have the police, you have the judge, you have all that. Yo, those are dangerous people. You got to think of it because if somebody just say is in conflict with you and they don't know that you are a gangster, that's why they call it a secret society before.
yes,
That
yes.
person, if they cross you, yo, guess what's gonna happen? The law's not gonna go on their side. It's gonna be with the person who's the gangster, but they're not making you know that they're the gangster.
Yeah, most
Because
definitely.
most of the realest gangsters, you don't know who they are.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They move very silently, very secretly, and it's very discreet, man. You
Yes,
know what I
unless
mean?
they someone spotlighting them, you don't know because I'm gonna be straight up because you're in America and I'm up here. You see up here,
Yeah.
people like I know that there's crime everywhere and like organized crime, but here you see the guys who are doing their shit. You don't
Mm.
find out unless you go on YouTube and some guy who's digging up these guys, and you never know. Like I found out stories up here I didn't even know, and I've been living. I'm Canadian up here, like some gangster shit, eh? I mean,
Right,
some
right.
gangster stuff even you guys wouldn't believe. What's going on in another province, Montreal?
I
Yo.
believe you. I believe you. Cause I was watching a movie. I'm watching a movie the other day about the Philippines
Oh,
and how there's islands out there where
yeah. Don't
like the
joke.
government be like, we don't go down
Yeah.
there. We
Yeah.
ain't nothing down there for nobody.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay. It's
And that's why
cranking everywhere.
we never know. It's just what they promote. You get what I mean? Like,
Yes,
I'm gonna
sir.
tell you, for example, Montreal. I don't know if you heard of Montreal. That's the French more speaking of Canada, right? But they speak
Hmm.
English stuff. Down there, that's where the Hells Angels, right? If you know of the Hells Angels from even in America, who
Most
took over
definitely.
that, you know who took over that whole shit worldwide? It's down here,
Mm.
down in Montreal. That's who took over that whole shit. What you ever heard of? Like, it's like a movie. You'll never know. Like, it's a history. They took over that whole shit in Montreal, big, worldwide,
Man,
world
man.
so much that they have black guys working for them.
Yeah, I believe it. I
Yeah,
believe it.
yeah. So what in Montreal? What happened is because they have a big Haitian. I'm gonna give you some history, the Canadian
Hmm.
gangster history, some of it.
Mm.
They have a big Haitian population because there's French, right? And there's
Hmm.
like African countries where they're Haitian. Those over the years they become the street. A lot of them part of the street gangs. You know, like you what would say the hood in the hood, the projects. But over time they became big, so big that the mafia and the bikers had to use are using them now. So
Mm.
they don't do the dirt out in the street anymore. It's
Right.
they using the Haitian guys to do all of the
The,
street work.
the hitmans, the
Yeah,
hitters.
fighting against each other too. And then
Yeah.
some guys leave this side and go to the other side. It's like a movie.
Right.
Some guys, brothers get killed. Trust me, it's like a lot of even Americans don't even know what's going on over
Hey,
here.
I got a feeling that you definitely keep it in 100 because it is like you can't be too sure too comfortable nowhere, man, because you just never know anything. But most shit
Nowhere.
that we
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, you know what? You said it good. I like what you said because some people have a stereotype, like even coming from America or vice versa, right? Like any anywhere it could be hot. What they're saying, like anywhere you could get caught, right? If you're in Compton, Oakland, even Toronto, Vancouver, anywhere. So the whole stereotype that that place ain't bad because you don't hear about it, nah, nah, it's the place you don't know.
It's definitely some place in every place that you ain't supposed to be, that you don't want to put, that
Yeah.
you don't want to run into. I think for the most part, though, like you said, like people be making up their own laws and they be like creating their own worlds, based on their own parameters and their own ideologies, and like they really just trying to keep out other infiltrators and people that's trying to cross the territory and do harm to them. And you could just get caught in the crossfire because they don't recognize. If they don't recognize you, then you are out. Like it just automatic. Like they just got to set it up that way so that
Hmm.
they always on defense and protect their
And
surrounding
that's
and
everywhere.
their
That's
family.
everywhere.
And that's everywhere. So that's why you gotta. Can I come to Toronto? Is it good? I'm on my way, man.
It's
I
true.
gotta
It's
make sure
vice
it's good.
versa. That's
Yeah,
what's going on now. Before people never thought that, like especially come from America. But if you're
yeah,
a guy and you're smart, you tap
yeah.
in with a guy from Toronto if you're coming from America. If you really, you get
For
what I mean?
sure.
To be
For sure.
because it's not like back in like what people think. Oh, nice. Like people see the Drakes and you see all that shit. Yeah, it's a nice city.
Hmm.
It's a nice city. But like
Right.
everywhere else, they got the other side.
No, for sure. I was scrolling through TikTok. One of the young kids is rapping. He had left the town for a little while, and he came back and he wanted to shoot a video. And so he went to this like it really ain't even no notorious place or nothing. It's just like a spot under the freeway or whatever, and he was just trying to shoot a video, and he said they popped out of nowhere and they just ran him off the turf like, man, what you doing here? Come to find out, they was like, well, we don't know who you are, so we thought you probably was gonna do a diss video. we don't know who you are, so we don't know if you
It's
about to
true.
say
It's
what
true.
you about to say or not. So
That would happen up here too. That would happen
Yeah.
definitely up here. So, yo,
Yeah.
in Cali, what's the atmosphere now? Because first there was these fires I heard we talked last time about, and now
Yeah.
I'm hearing about this whole thing with Trump. Like Trump's crazy. Like
Yeah.
he's
It's
doing
lit,
this mass.
man.
Is it really happening? Like big, like deportation? Like, do you see the effects, or is it just media?
I can see the effects, but most of what I'm seeing, nobody I know really. But it's like little stories that I'm hearing, like just little, little media shots here and there of what's going on. But really, it's just like a lot of protesting. You know what I mean? A lot of protesting, heavy.
Mm, that's an issue.
From the Latino community. They just really, really like this. They don't think that's correct what he's doing, and so
But you
you
know
know,
what? Trump, I studied that guy. I done a lot of episodes on that man and talked about him. And this is the thing. It's a sticky thing because I know for like I'll be straight up. I'm no filter, yo. I'm gonna be telling you what I know, right?
yeah, yeah,
In Cali history, what I've been watching growing up, right?
right,
Movies, documentaries, and shit, and up until recently, and I'm hearing like I know the prison politics, right? But that
right.
spilled out to the outside, and for years I didn't even know black people were getting attacked by like them people them. I mean, like a
Yeah,
race
yeah.
war type of thing. I've been hearing about like for years. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm being straight
No,
up,
you, no,
right?
no. There is some truth to that for sure. That is not a lie. There is a lot of tension that persists, and I mean it's really like been us versus the world from the beginning. Like it's different factions of people that just always like kind of team up towards the Western philosophy. And
Mhm.
so that's going to automatically put the indigenous or the original melanated man up against all of these different facets of because we present so much energy and we present so much, you know, um, just a lot of things that is make people uncomfortable. So it's really like nothing new. That's like from the jump,
Mhm.
and it's on a grand scale. Like the jailhouse, that kind of shows you that's like a microcosm of a macrocosm. So
Mhm.
what's going on in there is really like what's going on the whole planet. That's really what it is. It's like us versus the world. So
But I see what Trump's trying to do. Like on what I see through my eyes is like he's trying to get the black side undercoverly with him because he had some of them to vote his ass in, right?
for
So
sure,
he
for
says, "Make
sure.
America great again."
Right,
So he's
right,
trying
right,
to. It's the
right.
chess game he's doing, right?
Yeah, he
So
playing psychological warfare for
because
sure.
I'm gonna drop some gems. I don't know if you know. Recently, he put the cartels
Mm,
as a terror group, like they have done back in the past to other groups.
for
So
sure,
once you put a
sure.
group under terrorism, and if that
Yeah,
country knows about them and they're not like it basically forces the country instead of hiding it like in the past, that they have to
right.
tackle it. Because what Trump said, if you don't handle it, we will handle it. So that wall shit,
Right.
he don't care about the wall. You know what the wall was? That was all a makeup. It means that now that they're terrorists, he could do the same thing like Iraq and Afghanistan if needed, if there's a plot that
Yeah,
they find some evidence the cartels is doing a lot of shit. More
yeah.
like if they have it like caught some of these guys already, some of the top guys. They have
Oh yeah,
arrested
yeah,
them. So
yeah. They got
the
a place
next
for
move,
them to go and everything.
what they would like to do is have soldiers fly into Mexico.
Man, man. It's above my pay grade, man. They for sure got it in for anybody that's in here that is not documented.
That's
And
why. But you know what?
you know,
I'm gonna be straight up, and I might be the bad guy.
yeah,
If you don't go through the legal way, you're illegal. because
I mean,
because they are your neighbor, you're gonna say it's all right. But it's coming from me because it's different. My parents are from
yeah,
Jamaica, so
right,
when they came from Jamaica, my parents were working as young, very young age. My dad said he was working from he was 9. So by the time he was
mm,
like becoming like a 20-year-old or close to that age, he was
yeah,
going to Canada. First, he went to America. He actually visited some places, right? But
yeah,
when he came here, he went to school,
yeah,
and they had to do all that paperwork. They had to to
yeah,
come, pay to come,
right, right,
and pay to get their brothers and sisters up here. I
right,
remember, like when my
right,
parents got up here and they got
right,
through all their shit, they call it sending. My mother sent for her sisters, her
yeah,
brothers, they get and
yeah,
shit. People are sending for their
yeah.
family, but they have to work and get it through the paperwork. No one sneaked into the shit, because if you did, you know what they do? They'll deport your ass quick.
Right,
You could
right,
be here
right,
for a while, but you could be here
right.
for a while, but when they deport you, you have no chance to come back. It's like you
Yeah,
ruin
it's
that. So
over. Yeah,
you have to go somewhere else. But the whole
right,
point
right,
is, what people don't understand, like they're talking about this whole immigration thing and blah blah blah. But if you ask somebody who's probably been here for 40 years and they're
right,
from somewhere else, I guarantee they tell you how they had to work, and it was some it was some money to come here. They had to
right.
spend.
Yeah, yeah. You're absolutely right. Like it's a very unfortunate situation, man. Because at the end of the day, you know, they came over here and they defeated the original inhabitants, through war and through, distortion, and they
You're
was
right. When
able
you
to.
look at it in the big picture, I know what you're saying. In the big picture, we're talking about the colonizers, right? You're really
You
talking
know
about
what I'm saying? At the
yeah, the
end of
big
the
picture.
day, they came through and we lost as far as who was in control now. Obviously, we
Mm.
can see who won because they get to lay they laws down and
Yes,
they get
that
to
makes
say
sense.
who and what can go where.
Yeah.
And a lot of my brown people,
Mm.
what I'm saying, they, like, how can you do that to the land and do that? But it's like at the same time, we still gotta do everything else. Like we gotta pay rent. We gotta if you get a bill, if the police pull you over, you gotta go to court. Like you gotta do all these little things in the system. So we can't
Because
pick and choose
but part of it
when we
too,
wanna.
we have to look at the big picture. Remember when it was 9/11,
Right,
right? So
right. We for sure don't want them over here.
if you're soft on people who are illegal, that means
Right,
that those type of people could sneak through. Then
right, right, right,
think of it.
right. And I think it's kind of for them. It's a little because they like coming from way across the whole fucking goddamn world coming over here, and
No,
it's like
all
how
they
you
do.
can.
No, the funny thing how they do it. These guys, I don't want to give away. They don't just come here straight. They'll go through maybe South America.
Okay, yeah, okay,
Then
they
they'll go to Mexico,
right, right,
and then
right.
they'll come up to in the more in America.
But see, look, it's how in the heck? Why do everybody want to be here in the first place?
You're
Like,
right.
what has created the planet to the point where everybody want to be over here? That's to me somebody
It's the media, and it's all the energy of the media.
the
Because right
American
now
dream,
people are
right?
finding themselves back to Africa.
Come on now.
I'm seeing people are starting to open their eyes that there it's not as bad as people say it is. Damn, I can live like a king in Africa.
All I'm saying is that we got people. They still under the paradigm of thinking that it's an American dream over here. That's
Same
and
thing up
to a
here. They have
degree,
a
because I
yes,
guess it's perspectives. I guess it's like layers. Somebody else's little cut in the hut without having to deal with the cartel. That might be a dream for them. I
yeah.
get that. You know what I'm saying? So
It's true
it's
because
really
where they're from is beautiful. A lot of these people are coming from some beautiful places, but it's so
right.
beautiful that you can't live. It's like you can't have both. You
Yeah,
can't have a
yeah,
beautiful place and live good. You have to worry
Yeah,
about
yeah, you
danger.
gotta pick. Yeah, you gotta pick.
So they come
Yeah,
to America to live out maybe both, like live out that fantasy. They come to
no,
Canada to live out that fantasy that it's
for
more
sure.
safe. That it's more safe here.
That's the thing. They thinking that they feeling like this. The government is gonna protect and provide us better opportunities here, and to a degree, a lot of that stuff is true, especially from the places that they coming from
Yeah,
and some of the circumstances that they
yeah,
in.
you're right. Yeah.
It's like, I feel where you coming from. I understand what Trump's position is, and then on the flip side, where those indigenous people and people that just want to do better for them, like as he said, he was coming at the criminals and people that was
No,
causing
you
a
know what it is?
stereo.
He is coming after the criminals, but you have to filter out sometimes. So
Yeah,
by
yeah,
him
yeah, yeah,
filtering out those criminals, the people who he's deporting are probably family of the criminals. That's how
yeah,
he's.
yeah,
That's how
yeah,
these
yeah,
guys
yeah,
think when they're doing
yeah.
their whole thing. He's going
Yeah.
after the family of the criminals. That's how you get
Right,
to
right,
them.
right. Because they filter the bread
That's how you get to them.
through, yeah, yeah, through the organizations
It's a
that they
bad
feel.
thing. It might seem sad, but reality, when this is war, he has to go
Right.
filter out the families. Even if they can't get the cartel, they'll get somebody else, and they'll
Yeah.
get to them. So if it's their wife, daughter, little brother,
Right.
you get what I mean? Because
Right, right, right,
cartels have
right.
families too. Cartels
No,
do have families, good
yeah,
or
yeah.
bad.
And I'm thinking
Everybody has a
they
good or bad in
yeah,
their
they
family.
when they get their bread, they usually build infrastructure with the bread that they and then so they just could take it down whatever way they see fit. And
Hmm.
this they shit, and they fucked around and won that critical war. But I always be trying to remind people that they didn't just win outright when they took this shit over. It was mostly diseases, smallpox,
Hmm.
measles and shit like that that knocked down half of the people, or even more than half of the people that had existed here. So that warrior spirit though of the frontliners still exists in the bloodlines of these people. So them knowing like, hey, y'all didn't win really fair and square though. So they be wanting to kind of it just keep popping back up. Like the ancestors speak in so many different ways. If we gotta always remember that the land and the people going the true reality of what it really is gonna poke out, even though they trying to.
It looks like to me. It looks like he's trying. Mr. Trump, I call him. He's trying to start
Yeah.
a civil war, like a social war, kind of a
It's
civil.
psychological, spiritual. He definitely got them people behind the scenes that's letting him know what's going on with the stars and the energy and the planets and
And
when to
it looks like
press
they're
certain
using. It looks
buttons.
like they're using LA as the battleground, like the
Oh
place.
yeah, that's the root chakra of the
That's
planet.
why it looks like he is going on. You get what I mean? Like he's using that place as an example of what he could do everywhere in America. That's where I'm putting like the star.
Oh
That LA
yeah,
is the example what he will do to every single place in
right,
America.
right. Because LA got a reputation of being the bullies or the dangerous,
Mm,
most chaotic. This where a lot of riots and a lot of
mm,
things of that nature, spark up. So if you could hit them where it hurt, hit them go straight to the headquarters.
mm,
You absolutely right. Psychologically, people like, damn, this motherfucker not playing. You better go get on our shit and get our paperwork
mhm.
together or whatever fuck we need to do. You better get you some good looking documents or something because this shit is getting sticky. You
Yeah,
know
it
what
is
I'm
getting
saying?
sticky, man. LA's on the. It's very on the spotlight right now,
For
all over
sure.
the world, all over the
And then,
world.
and you
But you
know
know
what
what?
I'm saying?
It's crazy that we're talking about this because a lot of events are going on at the same time as what's going on in LA, what's going on in Israel, what's
Right,
going on in Iran, what's
right,
going on in still with the what's called with Russia, and like just look at these events with
right,
one thing in common: Trump.
right, right.
I wonder how
Yeah,
much people are talking saying that that line. One thing in common is Trump's there. In America, he has problems. He's putting his shit in the. He's putting himself in a war with Israel and Iran, and then he's
Yeah.
putting himself talking about Russia and like three things, if not more. Now he's doing more. He's doing a
Oh
lot.
yeah, yeah. He definitely starting to. He definitely is the face of it. You know what I'm saying? I think he rely on a lot of people's insight and a lot of people's like because he not no politician. So you got all these people that you pay a lot of money to tell you what, hey, we should do this. Oh, that would, you know what I'm saying? He got
man,
these people
man,
surrounding him that he listening to, and then he got his own brain on top of that. So it causes a whole lot of hysteria. But one thing I always said, like in my spiritual evolution and my spiritual background teachers that I've discovered is that this is exactly what we want. We
mm,
want this motherfucker to burn down.
it's true.
This what
You said it good. You said a real strong point.
you know.
In the main thing, yeah, people might think
Yeah,
it's crazy, but
yeah,
isn't this in the if we're going scriptures, if we're going by the the word or the book,
right,
and you believe in people, not to get too preachy, but if you believe in the revelations, if you
right,
believe in
right,
all of the stuff, right? You
right.
should not be scared because in the
You should
long
be
term,
lit. You should be like, yeah,
the,
that
the
means
real the
Christ
real
is
life is
on
not
the way
here.
back.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
real life is not here. This is not really the real life.
that's what, so me getting too attached into. Why is this happening? And all, I thought we already got the play. We got the rundown that this was coming down the mountain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So for me, it's like, oh, what about the kids? Hey, man,
but
look, it's
isn't
time
that
for
what
the
they put
whole
in it?
planet to start over. It's just time for a whole
It's either
new.
you believe or you don't believe. That's how I put it. It's either
Yeah,
you believe or you don't
yeah,
believe. If you don't believe, you don't believe. But
yeah.
if we're going by the word, right? And the
Mm-hmm,
word, that means we are in those times of the judgment, right?
mm-hmm,
Because they said you will be judged when it's the last of the days. Everybody will be judged.
mm-hmm.
Even so that's why sometimes I think they change up the people don't understand the Bible, like the meaning sometimes, because
Yeah,
you when you die or when you see people pass away, right? Some people think they're
yeah.
going to heaven, but in the
Right,
scriptures it says no one's going to heaven until the judgment day.
right.
So
You gotta
you're
wait.
just
You gotta
resting.
wait your turn. Yeah,
You have to. That's what it says. It says what's judgment day. No
right.
one goes to heaven until judgment day, because in the judgment day, God takes a couple of 100,000.
Yeah,
That's how
144.
I'm just going, or whatever. I'm just going by how they say it.
Yeah, for real. Yeah,
So if you
it's
really get
amazing.
honest with people, even in religious terms, with those terms, it's like, whoa, are you going by it or are you angry? Because that's what it's saying.
Yeah, man. You playing both sides, man. You being, you know what I'm saying? Like me, I'm every time I see these Westerners, these Europeans clashing and these
Mm,
and fire and brimstone and all that, it
mm.
just makes me excited. I get more and more, and me, I am
It's
more
yeah, it's a different
joyful.
type of energy
Yeah,
because you know what you have learned and studied. You've
right.
seen, it's like you've seen it coming already. So
Yeah, it's
that's
like
why I
it's
said with
predicted.
Trump, you should not be surprised. When I'm telling people, I said, "Why are you
Yeah,
surprised?" I was telling
right.
you. I was telling you this. I was saying he's going to be the president. I know this is all written. Just the energy of the man and the times. These are the
For real.
times when even what's his name, Obama came in. I was saying they're gonna shock you. These are the
Okay.
times. A black man or whatever, the president, right? Even
Right.
before him, Bush. I said they're gonna put this crazy rich, like some characters what
Characters.
wasn't there before as leaders of the world.
Yeah,
Let's just be straight up.
exactly.
America represents
Exactly.
the is the leader of the world.
Exactly. And they allowed
Mm,
these type of things to transpire on purpose.
yes.
Because they're what, the 1%? is like sitting back and watching us frantically try to figure out conspiracy theory.
Hmm.
We you know what I'm saying? If anything, you know what I'm saying, we doing our best to try to monetize off the situation
Right.
and then engage our people's minds, intellect them to give them some information to move forward. It's instead of playing victim.
Because the
And
best thing is to be conscious.
it
The
is.
best thing,
It is.
how I believe life is, if you, real death is not knowing yourself.
Man, period. Period.
The real death is you have nothing to like, you just don't know yourself.
Yeah, you don't know you are the source. You don't
Because
know that.
where's your energy gonna go when the flesh is gone?
Come
If
on
you're
now.
lost.
Come on now. You It's no reason for you to be even like not in a state of tranquility, even in the midst of, or what he say, no weapons formed against me shall
Yeah,
prosper.
yeah.
So it's like even if this whole thing do erupt in the whole, that's just the body.
Hmm.
It's this. I'm way bigger than this.
Yes, because
I
only certain people could get to, like, it takes time to get to that level to realize that you're bigger than the flesh. You get
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah, that's tough. Yeah, that's tough.
Because it's a physical thing, right?
Yeah, it's tough. Yeah,
You're speaking is the air. So where that come from? That's not electric. You move
right.
the movement of your physical skin. What's moving that? It's not no electric. I
Come
mean,
on,
it's not no machine
come on,
moving it.
come on,
I
come
mean,
on,
it's
man.
energy though. It's energy.
For
It's
sure,
energy moving it
for
because we
sure.
have energy all through our bodies. Heat.
Hmm.
You know, when you go to, sorry, when you eat something, you're putting heat in your body. We have all types of stuff in our body. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
it's more than meets what they say meets the eye or something. It's more. It's a lot.
Most definitely, and
But
like you,
people are
what
scared
we
of the death because they fear that they'll never touch anything anymore.
exactly they connected to this world, man, and this experience is, and so is a lot of other spiritual beings, and that's why we got a lot of these different frequencies because everything is attracted to this planet because you get to feel, you get to it's just a it's just the most, like you got taste, touch, sound, you got all of these different attributes of the world that you get to experience. Everything want to experience that,
Hmm.
but you gotta know, you gotta overcome that desire and passion and all that, and rise to a higher degree of saying, you know what, I'm good without anything. I don't need um a burger tonight. I don't need candy. I don't need television. I don't need none of that to
Then you really
already
living.
know.
That's
Yeah,
when
then
you
you
really living.
living. Now you up
Now
because
you
now
living.
you don't connect it to nothing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, and until and then, like on top of that, right, when I see these people going at it, it's like they still playing this "my God is better than your God" war that's still going on.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, behind the scenes. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the end of the day, it's my God is better than your God, and your God ain't shit.
And it's
And
just
my
one. It's really just one. One.
it's really just one. Ain't no ain't no separate entity. But the game already been played. It's been put down
But
so
that's what the
hard.
opposition makes. It makes that whole thing,
Come
and that's
on,
what
man.
makes war. That's
Right.
what makes conflict.
That's all it
That's what
is.
makes the good and the bad.
That's all it is. It's perspective, and then people want to dominate you for having a different perspective because they see you is in a good place and they might not be in such a great place. And
Mhm.
so they want to take that from you because they don't got nothing of their own. So you gonna suffer for what I don't have. And I'm gonna steal your identity on top of that,
And
and
that's what evil is.
that's what it is.
So
That's
when we say evil, people think you're crazy, but that's the evil actions. As much
that
as there's goodness, as much as there's goodness and kindness,
yeah.
no one ever says evil.
Yeah, that's just like evil is like I'm gonna give you ignorance and make you think it's truth, and then being good is I'm gonna give you truth, and then I'm gonna actually show you how to possess it and actually walk in it. And those two things always come in the head because you got these, I'm gonna just call them the ice mentality from the ice people. They have an ice mentality where they don't have no trees growing in. They gotta fight for every little thing. So if you over here with a whole forest of fruit, I don't know how to just take a little bit of that and be good. I want all of it. I
That's what
want
you want. You want all of it. That's
I want
true.
all of it. And I don't want you now. You only get a little bit. How about
That's
that?
why they have the Adam and Eve story of Eve taking the apple. She just, take the apple when they said not to. See,
Yeah.
temptation and desire takes
Yes.
over and
Yes.
shit. But
Yes.
if you have discipline and you're not easily getting tempted, you win.
Right. Come on, man. Don't
So
get
yo, what?
swayed. Don't be persuaded by these politicians in nice suits and telling you the right thing, what you want to hear. Look, he played the game. He played defense. Oh, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna cater to Elon Musk. His what he want to do. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the role all the way up until till there's nothing nobody can do about what it is that I got to say and when I can really express myself. And you can't blame nobody. We can't blame nobody but ourselves. We
Yo,
got to.
so what's next for Godface? What's next for you, man?
Oh
What's coming
man,
up?
it's just more love, man, more peace, spreading more energy, good energy to the people, man. Just trying to connect. That's my thing now. I want people to come out and see my shows. I want to build more relationships with people, and that's really all this finna be about. Godface going forward.
Well, yo, man, we chopped it up real down to earth, and some we're talking about God
Yeah,
too. We're talking about a lot about God and stuff, man. So, yo, yeah, man, we gotta link up back again, once again, with my brother, me and my
man.
brother.
Anytime, bro. You know I love coming on here and chopping it up with you guys, man. You guys are the greatest, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Down to Earth podcast. Godface here, live and
Yeah, man,
direct.
we went deep down to earth tonight, yo.
We
Yeah,
went underworld, baby. We went under the earth. Let's go.
but yo, bless up, yo, people. I want people to follow Godface. Check his music on Spotify, Apple, all that good stuff, all digital platforms, and check out his business with his lady, his queen. They make soaps, special customized soaps, and like all types of things. You just hit the
Yeah,
link. You're gonna see all the description, Godface music, and everything. I'm gonna put your Spotify on there and everything later on, yo.
most definitely, man. Much love. Bless up.
Bless up. We out.
All right.